Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach, the Gear Guy, OGE, and you might notice from my first appearance, I do not have any of the OGE Grind Club Zach the Gear Guy stuff on. That is because this is a sub series to the to the original Zach the Gear Guy series, where I will be focusing on the AEW pay-per-views. Obviously, we have Revolution coming up. And it is no secret if you go onto my Instagram or follow me on any platforms, I am an SHW, Southern Honor Wrestling, and AEW fan. So without further ado, I do have the card here with me, and we are going to run through the card and my predictions. But first, let me know in the comment section down below who you want to win, who you want to lose, you know. Who do you think will be a surprise debut, you know? And all these opinions are my own, so don't come at me. Nobody has bribed me, nobody has, promoted ex-wrestler for me to say, but anyway, let's get cracking on these predictions. And the only matches I do know of that are going to be in order are the 0 hour / pre-show matches. So anything after the pre-show matches are in the order that they were announced, or are just going to be up on the air depending on how they are booked. First up, on the 0 hour show, we have one match that has been officially announced, and then I have one match that I would like to see on the official 0 hour, but we're not sure whether it's going to be there or not. The first match being officially announced is the Lucha Bros and Mark Briscoe versus the Varsity Athletes and Ari Davari of the Trustbusters. Honestly, rest in peace to Jay Briscoe there. I would like to see the Lucha Bros and Mark Briscoe get that win, because as we found out on Rampage, they have a history together, but also, not only the death of Jay Briscoe, but also, I do believe that the Lucha Bros were kind of robbed from the four-way match, in a way, so I'm saying I'm going to have to go with the Lucha Bros and Mark Briscoe, for this one. Another one that I'd like to see, another one that hasn't been officially announced, but I think will make it onto 0 hour, is Hook versus Stokely Hathaway. Anything goes, no disqualification. The firm banned from ringside. Hook is your current FTW champion, and is just coming off a supposed suspension thanks to Stokely Hathaway. Should this match take place at Revolution, Stokely is doomed. I am going to go with Hook for this one. I'm a huge team. I am still a Team Taz fan, although that faction is no longer currently existing. So I'm going to go with Hook. Next up, we have the AEW Trios Tag Team. We have the AEW Trios titles on the line as the Elite. The trio of Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson take on the House of Black, the trio of Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, and Brody King. I do have respect for the House of Black, but at the end of the day, at least in my eyes, a tag team is seen as a brotherhood. You have to have trust there, and you have to know everything about your partners, and I do think the Elite will be successful. We've seen them originally win these trios belts in All Out of last year. Although I do not like to talk about that medium scrum for some reason. But other than that, they had a great best out of 7 series with their challengers, Death Triangle. And this is just one of those matches where styles make matches. You know, you have All Power of House of Black and like the style of the Elite. So I'm going to have to go with the Elite for this one. They have my support here. Up next, we have the AEW Women's title match. In a triple threat match, we have Jamie Hayter, Saraya, and Ruby Soho. Looking at the card here, Jamie Hayter is over with the fans right now. Trust me, I am somewhat of... I take nicely to UK wrestlers, and this whole AEW homegrown versus WWE, or outsiders as we call them in the business, is kind of being a whole debacle right now in AEW. So I do see Jamie Hayter retaining in this match, but I wouldn't be too mad if Saraya walked out as the new champion. So here's what I'm going to do. My first pick is going to be Jamie Hayter. Second pick, Saraya. Third pick, Ruby Soho, with Ruby Soho being the least likely to take the belt. So that is my pick. Either Jamie Hayter or Saraya have my pick here. Next up, we have the Ocho, Chris Jericho, taking on absolute Ricky Starks with the Jericho Appreciation Society banned from ringside. Trust me, this is going to be one of those matches, you know, because there hasn't been a Revolution or like any AEW pay-per-view as of late I can think of without Chris Jericho on the card somewhere. So, you know, it can't just be the Jericho Appreciation Society banned from ringside. Knowing Chris Jericho on his own, he might have another trick up his sleeve, you know. I'll get more on that later. But I do believe somehow, some way, Chris Jericho will outsmart Ricky Starks in this match. So I'm going to go with Chris Jericho. Next up, we have a 4-way match for the AEW Tag Team titles. That being the Acclaimed, Danhousen and Orange Cassidy, Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, taking on the Guns, otherwise known as the Ass Boys. Me personally, I do feel like the tag team, the Acclaimed, were robbed during their as they are over with the crowd very much. More specifically with me, I love the Acclaimed. And yeah, they were kind of robbed by the Ass Boys winning the tag team titles. So Tony Khan, as a love letter from me, please put those belts back on the Acclaimed ASAP. Thank you. I'm going with the Acclaimed, no question about it. Next up, we have a Texas Death Match between Jon Moxley and Hangman Adam Page. I do think Hangman is overdue somewhat. Like, I mean, he did lose that match because a few weeks back when Jon Moxley versus Hangman Page for the world title, before Jon Moxley and MJF, where he could have walked out AEW champion, had it not been for that lariat. But Jon Moxley likes to bleed, and I do believe Hangman Adam Page did say he's going to paint the picture Sunday with Moxley's blood on the canvas. So I'm going to have to say Hangman Adam Page gets the win here and gains momentum possibly for a future AEW championship opportunity down the line down here. Next up, we do have the TNT championship match. We have Wardlow versus Samoa Joe. Me personally, I'm going to have to say Wardlow gets the win here. Personally, because, you know, Joe not only took away, I believe it was All Out or Full Gear, the TNT championship from Wardlow, but he also took away his hair, and his hair has a very significant meaning to Wardlow, i.e. his father. So Wardlow needs that moment to shine once again. Although people can claim that he's already had that, I say why not make Wardlow your two-time TNT champion. Next up, we do know what was supposed to be a no-holds-barred match will be a final burial match. It will be Jungle Boy Jack Perry taking on my guy, respect this man, Christian Cage. Now, I might seem a bit biased, but I know my editor would want Jungle Boy to win this. I know the AEW fandom might want Jungle Boy, but my catchphrase is outgrind everyone, so it's no brainer. I'm going Christian Cage here. Christian Cage is an idol of mine and is seen as a pillar to me, so I'm going to go for Christian Cage. Now we get to the segment where I'd like to say, where I'd like to think about possible returning talent, or surprise debuts for Revolution. In no particular order, I do believe the talent that's more likely to debut are going to be Mandy Rose, Mercedes Moné. We could be seeing the return of Miro alongside his wife Lana. Quite possibly. But for returning talent, we do have Chris Statlander, could possibly make a return here. CM Punk and FTR could possibly return, as well as Jeff Hardy and Paul White. I've seen a lot of people speculating about as of late on the internet, and that's who I think might just debut or possibly return come Revolution. I think Chris Statlander is more likely because she and Adam Cole do have meet and greets available on Revolution. And then finally, your AEW Revolution main event will be a 60-minute Iron Man match between challenger Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, and Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. Trust me, there's been a lot of back and forth with this one. I honestly don't know where I'm gonna go. Obviously, MJF, you know, represents like that person who withholds, you know, like your most prized possession, and doesn't do any of the work. Obviously, Bryan Danielson is the person who believes that work ethic is needed. Two sidelines going on here. Too much that I can relate to. I honestly have to go with, since he, now keep in mind, MJF has only defended the title once. Yes, one time. And that was against Ricky Starks for the AEW World Championship and the Dynamite Diamond Ring after Winter is Coming. And then he had a eliminator match against Konosuke Takeshita, but that was for a shot. So he only technically defended it once in his whole AEW career. So me personally, whilst I'd like Bryan Danielson to win, I gotta go with MJF to somehow, some way retain the AEW World Championship. So those are going to be my predictions for AEW Revolution. Let me know in the comments below your predictions. Are you guys getting AEW Revolution? Are you gonna wait until after? So those have been my predictions. Thank you guys so much for watching. The start of the sub-series, Zach the Gear Guy predicts AEW. And also don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. You guys are the best.